Hello, my name is Jiso, and I'm reading Master Dōgen's Shōbōgenzō. We have reached chapter 31, Kai-In-Zanmai, Samādhi, state like the sea. Kai means sea, and in, a translation of the Sanskrit word mudra, means seal or stamp. Zanmai, a phonetic representation of the Sanskrit word Samādhi, means the state in Zazen. So Kai-In-Zanmai means sea stamp Samādhi, or Samādhi as a state like the sea. These words appear frequently in the Garland Sutra. Master Dōgen explains that the words describe the state in Zazen, or the mutual interrelation between subject and object here and now. In this chapter, Master Dōgen expands on Samādhi as a state like the sea, quoting from the Vimalakirti Sutra, the Lotus Sutra, and from a conversation between Master Sozen Hunjaku and his disciple. Okay. Those who are Buddhas and patriarchs are always in Samādhi, the state like the sea. Swimming in this Samādhi, they have times of preaching, times of experiencing, and times of moving. The virtue of their moving over the surface of the sea includes movement along the very bottom of that sea. They move over the surface of the sea, knowing this to be movement along the bottom of the deepest ocean. To seek to make the uncertain currents of life and death return to their source is not to be moving along in the ineffable state of mind. While past instances of passing through barriers and breaking joints were, of course, individual instances of the Buddhas and the patriarchs themselves, at the same time each was governed by Samādhi, the state like the sea. The Buddha said, "Only of real dharmas is the body composed. The moment of appearance is just the appearance of dharmas. The moment of disappearance is just the disappearance of dharmas. At the moment when the dharmas appear, we do not speak of the appearance of self. At the moment when the dharmas disappear, we do not speak of the disappearance of self." An instant before, an instant after. Instant does not depend on instant. A dharma before, a dharma after. Dharma does not oppose dharma. Just this is called Samādhi, the state like the sea. Excuse me, there's a door banging upstairs. We should painstakingly learn in practice and consider these words of the Buddha. Attaining the truth and entering the state of experience do not always depend upon an abundance of knowledge or an abundance of words. Scholars of wide learning and abundant knowledge have gone on to attain the truth under 4 lines. Scholars extensively versed in texts as numerous as the sands of the Ganges have eventually entered the state of experience under a single line of verse. Still less are the present words about seeking inherent enlightenment in the future, or about grasping initiated enlightenment in the middle of experience. In general, though the real manifestation of inherent enlightenment and so on is a virtue of a Buddhist patriarch, the various kinds of enlightenment, such as initiated enlightenment and inherent enlightenment, do not define a Buddhist patriarch. The Buddha said, "Only of real dharmas is the body composed. The moment of appearance is just the appearance of dharmas. The moment of disappearance is just the disappearance of dharmas. At the moment when these dharmas appear, we do not speak of the appearance of self. At the moment when these dharmas disappear, we do not speak of the disappearance of self. An instant before, an instant after. Instant does not depend on instant. A dharma before, a dharma after. Dharma does not oppose dharma. Just this is called Samādhi, state like the sea. The concrete moment of this sea-like Samādhi is just a concrete moment only of real dharmas, and it is expression of the truth of soul reliance on real dharmas. This moment is said to be this composed body. The integrated form which is composed of real dharmas is this body. We do not see this body as an integrated form. Real dharmas compose it. This composed body has been expressed as the truth, as this body. The moment of appearance is just the appearance of dharmas. This appearance of dharmas never leaves appearance trailing behind. For this reason, appearance is beyond sensing and beyond knowing, and this state is expressed as not speaking of the appearance of self. It is not that while we are not speaking of the appearance of self, other people are perceiving, realizing, thinking and discriminating that these dharmas appear. Just in the moment of the ascendant state of mutual realization, we fall upon convenient opportunities for mutual realization. Appearance is inevitably a concrete moment having arrived, for the moment is appearance. Just what is this appearance? It may be appearance itself. It is appearance which is itself already a moment, and it never fails to disclose the naked skin, flesh, bones, and marrow. Because appearance is appearance which is composed, appearance as this body and appearance as appearance of the self is only of real dharmas. It is beyond only perception of sound and form. It is the real dharmas which are the appearance of the self, and it is the appearance of the self which is beyond speech. Not speaking does not mean failing to express anything, for being able to express the truth is not the same as being able to speak. The moment of appearance is these real dharmas here and now. It is not of the 12 hours. These real dharmas here and now are the moment of appearance. They are beyond the competitive appearance of the three worlds. An ancient Buddha said, "Suddenly fire appears." The independence of this real appearance is expressed as fire appears. An ancient Buddha said, "In the moment when appearance and disappearance do not cease, what are we to do?" Thus, appearance and disappearance, though they are the appearing of the self itself and are the disappearance of the self itself, are not seeking. We should determine the real meaning of these words, not ceasing, by entrusting ourselves totally to that Buddha. This time in which appearance and disappearance are not seeking is cut and continued as the very lifeblood of the Buddhist patriarchs. At the moment when appearance and disappearance are not ceasing, it is who that appears and disappears. It is who that appears and disappears. The appearance and disappearance of The appearance and disappearance of who is people who must be saved through this body is at once manifesting this body and is preaching for them the Dharma. It is past mind being unable to be grasped. It is you having got my marrow, and it is you having got my bones. For it is who that appears and disappears. footnote, who is often used in Shōbōgenzō to represent a person whose state cannot be expressed in words. At the moment when these dharmas disappear, we do not speak of the appearance of self. The very moment in which we do not speak of the disappearance of self is just the moment when these dharmas disappear. Disappearance is the disappearance of real dharmas. It is disappearance, but at the same time it must also be real dharmas. Because it is real dharmas, it is not confined to the atoms of the objective world. And because it is not confined to the atoms of the objective world, it is untainted. In the story, not tainted means not divided by thinking into means and aim. Simply, this untaintedness is the Buddhas and the patriarchs themselves. They say, you are also like this, but who could not be you? It may be that all those who have an instant of mind before and an instant of mind after are you. Buddhas and patriarchs say, I am also like this, but who could not be I? Because all those who have an instant of mind before and an instant of mind after are I. This disappearance is adorned with abundant varieties of hands and eyes. That is to say, it is a supreme and great nirvana, which is called death, which is insisted to be extinction, and which is seen as an abode. Such limitlessly abundant hands and eyes are all virtues of disappearance. Just a note that abundant hands and eyes is a reference to Canon, the Bodhisattva of Avalokiteshvara. Not speaking in the moment when disappearance is the self, and not speaking in the moment when appearance is the self, while sharing the common liveliness of not speaking, may be beyond the not speaking of common deadness. Not speaking is already the disappearance of the Dharma before and the disappearance of the Dharma after. It is the instant before of Dharma and the instant after of Dharma. It is Dharmas before and after working for the Dharma, and it is instants before and after working for the Dharma. Not to be independent is to work for the Dharma. Not to be opposed is to work for the Dharma. To cause dharmas not to be opposed and not to be dependent is to express 80 or 90% of the truth. When disappearance makes the four elements and the five aggregates into its hands and eyes, there is taking up and there is drawing back. When disappearance makes the four elements and the five aggregates into its course of action, a step forward is taken and a meeting takes place. At this time, even the expression, the thoroughly realized body is hands and eyes, is not sufficient, and even the whole body is hands and eyes is not sufficient. In sum, disappearance is the virtue of the Buddhist patriarchs. In regard to the present expression of the words not opposed and the expression of the words not dependent, remember, appearance in the beginning, middle and end is appearance. Officially there is no room for a needle, but privately a horse and cart can get through. Appearance neither depends upon nor opposes disappearance at the beginning, middle and end. It makes real dharmas suddenly appear where there was formerly disappearance, and it is not appearance defined by disappearance. It is the appearance of real dharmas. Because it is the appearance of real dharmas, it is a form beyond opposition and dependence. At the same time, disappearance and disappearance neither depend upon each other nor oppose each other. Disappearance also, at the beginning, middle and end, is disappearance. While we are meeting it, it does not stand out, but when our attention is drawn, then we recognize its existence. Disappearance happens suddenly when there was formerly appearance, but it is not disappearance defined by appearance, it is the disappearance of real dharmas. Because it is the disappearance of real dharmas, it is beyond mutual opposition and dependence. Either way, whether disappearance is just like this, or whether appearance is just like this, sole reliance on samadhi as the state of the sea is called real dharmas. Practice and experience, which is just this, is not non-existent. It is simply that this untaintedness is called samadhi, the state like the sea. Samadhi is realization. It is the expression of the truth. It is a night in which a hand reaches back and gropes for the pillow. In such reaching back in the night and groping for the groping for the pillow is not only a matter of kotis of myriad kalpas. It is myself being in the middle of the sea, preaching the sutra of the flower of the wonderful Dharma, solely and eternally. Great stuff. Thank you for listening. Take care.